Hello learners, welcome to my channel. Here we will learn different type of CSS selectors. There are 5 types of CSS selector. First is the element selector, second is ID selector, third one is class selector, fourth one is universal selector, and then is a grouping selector. So let's clear the previous video text. Let's add a paragraph in the HTML file. If you want to learn HTML, you go to my HTML tutorials. So adding a paragraph to the HTML file. For viewing, we just word wrap for better view. In the external CSS, we just adding first type of CSS selector, that is called the element selector. The element selector is mainly basically is often used in the CSS styling. The element selector's format is the element name and then curly braces, open and close. In the curly braces, we will write the code for the CSS. This is the syntax for the element selector. So here I am writing 3 elements in the HTML document. So the first is the H1 heading, second is the H2 heading, and then we had write a paragraph. So for the H1, we style the H1 heading. So declare the property font size and the value is 20px, and the font family. This is the property where we declare the font style for the HTML document. And then we will specify the background color for the heading. So first we will apply the background color aquarine. Padding 20px, it will give the space between the box and the text within the box. So the padding we will discuss in the later on video in detail. Now the focus is on the element selector. So the next heading is H2 heading. The color is not visible, so I just change the heading color. So the color is visible fine in the video, so I just applied the blue color for the heading H1. And the next we move on the H2 heading. So the font size we applied for the second heading, where the text is please like and subscribe my channel. So the font family, we will write whatever you want. There is a lots of option for the font family. And the background color I will specify blue violet, and the text color is white. So it is perfectly visible for the video you will show. Sorry, I mean to say you will see the second heading is visible. And next element is paragraph. So the font size of the paragraph is 20px, The px is the unit for specifying the size, and px is called the pixel. Text indent. Indent means the paragraph start from the left and making some space. That is, we can say in the application we will write the complete block format and the semi block format. So the same is the here. Padding is 10 px. So the style is applied to the HTML element. This is called the element selector. Now move on the next category called the class selector. The class is the attribute in the HTML. So this class attribute is specified in the HTML element, or we can say in tag. So go to the HTML file, write the in HTML heading class. The class name you want to specify whatever you want. I just writing main heading. You can write whatever you want. The naming convention is must, because whenever you are making a big project, you need to understand and remember the name of class, whatever you are writing in the HTML element. So the same as to write in the CSS document. So the class selector is basically start with the dot, and the class name should not be start with the number. The number, if you start the class with the number, it will not be applied the style to the element. So we just style our first heading, welcome tag to user learners. So I had just copied the H1 styling property values, because you want to write whatever you want, the properties and the values as per your choice. You can decorate your HTML element. Now H1 having the class of main heading. In H2 I am specifying the class secondary heading, and the paragraph having the class. So let's specify the secondary heading styling. So just place secondary heading, curly braces. Sorry, I forget to put the dot in front of the class name. It is necessary to put the dot in front of the class name. I had just copied H2 styling because it saves time to typing again that same properties and values. You can write your own. You have lots of time. I am just declaring the class for the paragraph. Para text hyphen text. Para hyphen text is a class name. So styling this paragraph I need to specify para hyphen text, curly braces start and close. So whatever you have to write in that curly braces, it will apply to the paragraph. So I just copied the paragraph styling properties which I have recently written in the element selector. So you can check out the forward and backward my videos. You can check. If you think I am moving faster, you can slow down my video speeds and you can listen very carefully. So the third point is ID selector. The syntax for the ID selector is hashtag ID name. There is an attribute in the HTML element tag called ID. So I just go to the index.html to specify the IDs to style the HTML elements. So here h1 tag having the ID name heading. So this is the ID name, and this heading ID name is specified in the CSS file. And let's give the ID to the paragraph is para1. The ID name in the HTML element and the ID name in CSS file should be the same. If there is a simple difference, the styling should not be applied on the desired element. So be careful for typing the name. So I just copied the attribute values from the previous code. You can write and you can watch the code applying the pause button. You can see the attribute values clearly. So I just applied the background color red and the text color is white. And let's go to the paragraph. So hashtag para1 is the ID name, and after writing this ID name, we will apply the properties to style the paragraph. And let's add the background color is black and the color of text is white. So when we will save this style.css file, it will apply the styling to the HTML file. You can see I just save the file and it will apply to the paragraph. So you can see I uncomment the class selector and save the file. The class selector CSS is not override the ID selector. So the ID selector is most powerful than the class selector. So I am just writing and I just change the order for checking if we change the order for the CSS. ID selector is above the dot class selector. Yet the ID selector style is applied to paragraph. So the ID selector CSS is most powerful than the dot class selector. So moving to the next, Universal selector. The universal selector is used to apply the piece of code which I have written in the dot in the star curly braces. You can check out the syntax. Its syntax is very simple. Just put the star and the curly braces open and close, and you can write the code under this curly braces, and this code is applied to the whole HTML page. Whatever the properties and value you will write in the code, it will apply it on the whole HTML document. So let's move to the next category. The next category is grouping selector. Grouping selector, we can write the element by separating by the commas. So the syntax for the grouping selector is, you can see on the video screen, element name 1, element name, element 1, element 2, element 3, and so on dot dot dot, and curly braces start and close. If you write the code in the curly braces, this code is automatically applied on the and all the element you will specified in the grouping CSS. So I have 3 headings and 1 paragraph. So I just write h1, h2, h3. Just comment all the above CSS code to show you that this code is applied on the HTML file. So I have just writing h1, h2, h3, comma separated by the comma, and the properties which I have written on above the code, I just copied that code and written as it is. So the background color is red and the text color is white. In the next video, we will discuss about the CSS colors. Thanks for watching my videos. Please like and subscribe my channel for getting the notification in the upcoming videos.